take a moment to welcome all our Ghanaians. Busia former Shemwa, Namamuina Kwaba, say Enyumre, so Motimi, Enyamre, say Yamranafi, Metrin Como, Yenti, and in the 4 year word that my men same repi, Ebeti, Enyumba, Kwansa, Enyum Nechino, Ebebompa, and Afi, and Jumeti, no Ashas. Without wasting much time, we're going to hand over to the media team rather. They're going to give us a song. And then after that, we would have the opening prayer. And so we'll hand over to the media team. Let's have a word of prayer and we can carry on from there. Heavenly Father, we thank you for a wonderful Friday evening that you've given us. So many of us have been to work and back. You've protected all of us and given us the opportunity to gather on here to be able to partake of this program. It is our prayer that you first of all forgive us of our sins. As we've gathered here, even the silent prayers that we whisper in our hearts, you may answer them at your will. It is our prayer that those that are yet to join us for a reason or two, you're able to smoothen their paths so they can all join us and be able to enjoy this program. We commit the presenters into your hands, that you may be with them, touch their lips, and if as they give legal or technical advice, that your voice may be heard through their utterances. Be with every one of us, that even as we listen clearly and are able to make the necessary decisions from the presentations we're going to receive. Be with us all even as we spend a little while on this device, and be with us that all glitches from technology will be far from our program tonight. There's many more blessings that we ask. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, yeah, there's a little lag. My name is Evans. I'm one of the elders at Slough SDA Church. But I'm privileged tonight to introduce to you not the entire legal team. I'm just going to introduce one person who would subsequently introduce the rest of the team to you. And it's none other than Elder Amos Ntansa. Elder, you could take over and then, lead us and tell us how the program's going to be tonight. What I can tell you before I bring mine to a close is that this online presentation will be followed with an in-person presentation next Sabbath, next Saturday, the 6th of June. So for as many that can come, doors will be open at Slough SDA Church in Slough. So you can come worship with us and also follow up on whatever the query you may have in person on Saturday, the 6th of June. So without wasting or taking any more time, I'll hand over to Elder Amos Ntansa.
Thank you so much, Elder. God bless you. God bless so much for your leading. We welcome you once again, everybody. In fact, I am very excited to be here. And if you are also excited, why don't you say Amen in the chat? Put Amen in the chat if you are so much happy to be here tonight, because tonight is a special night. We have a team with Dr. Addaih and his team is here with us. And then I am just taking this opportunity to introduce some few of them on the line. We have the Anane is on the line. We have the Brother Alice on the line, Brother Upon, Sister Jane, and then we have there are so many of them, Evans, and also we have I think that Roxanne is on the line, and also there are some few people who are also joining the line. We have Presla also on the line. So these are the team that we usually see us in a daily basis or in our churches in some times that we come to your churches for the program. But tonight's program is a special one. Why is it special? Because tonight's program is divided, the whole program has been divided into two. The first session is going to be a Zoom session, which is actually going to be led by the Home Office. Special one, going to be led by the Home Office. And it is taking place tonight. If you have any question after the presentation, you are given opportunity to answer the questions. We will ask the question and the question will be answered. And also on the 6th of June, this same program is also going to have the in-person one. Is going to take place at the Slough Seventh-day Adventist Ghana Church. And that place, the team, Dr. Addaih and his team is going to also take over from anything that we have done over here that probably if your questions were not answered, and then everything was not anything that has not been dealt with, we will be also dealing with it in persons. Personal consultation will be taking place, and everything is free of charge. We don't charge anything. And then I bet to say that how can you be working with a Home Office and charging? It is never possible. So they know our credibility working for the community, supporting you. So we are here especially tonight for our for Home Office. And tonight we are especially opportunities. The opportunity we have is that we have our sister, and he's a special one, Mrs. Mercy Osei Poku. She has been the African lead for national engagement. In fact, you cannot enter Africa without passing through her, because she is the one who is in charge of all the African African in anything dealing with the Home Office in terms of a national engagement. And she has been working with us for a long period. We have gone through so many places, Bedford, we have been in Manchester, we have been in Thetford, we have been in other places in London, and then Southeast, and other places, so many places. And tonight, we are also doing another one, which is also on the Zoom. And I am taking this opportunity to also invite our sister, Mrs. Mercy Osepoku, to take over from us. And then after my voice, the voice you are going to hear is from her. And she's going to lead us into the presentation. And after the presentation, questions will be asked. You'll be given opportunity to ask the questions. So please take good note of it, because this presentation is the first in its kind. It has never happened anywhere, and he's going to do this presentation for us in the first time. So take note of it, because it is very, very important. So long as we are here as a diaspora, we need to get such an important information. So my sister, I take this opportunity once again to welcome you and then invite you to take over from here. You're welcome. God bless
Thank you, Elder. Thank you. Thank you very much, Elder. And thank you all for coming this evening. Elder, who will be looking after the chat, the sidebar? Is somebody looking after that?
Yes,
All
we
right,
have.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. For those who don't know who I am, my full name is Mercy Osepoku, and I am the Community Engagement Lead for African communities in the UK. I have engaged with the Seventh-day Adventist Church for a very, very long time. Some of you may have been to some of my presentations, and this is a work we are continuing. My job is very simple. I give the African community information so that they can make informed decisions. We equip you with information so you comply with immigration restrictions and don't get yourself into any issues. Information is power, knowledge is power, and this is what this is about. This evening, I'll be talking about new legislations coming up this year. Some have already started, others don't currently have a timeline. So I will proceed with that. Am I a co-host at the moment?
Yes, I think so.
Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you. Can you hear me as well?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to talk about digital permissions at the moment. If you've heard, the Home Office is moving from paper-based or card-based to digital-based. So some people call it the UKVI account, others call it the e-visa account. That is what we started. It was started a few years ago with the EUSS. Now it's spreading. Digitalization is spreading across every part, even visa to travel to the UK. So I will start my presentation with that. Right. But let's talk about the immigration white paper. I'm sure last May you were all here when Parliament was presented with a white paper to bring down net migration and reliance on overseas labor, which led to the ending of the COS adult social care visa, promote integration and fairness, which affected the language requirement as well, target top international talent, which means that global talent visa was now being pushed, and it's probably now the best visa because it hasn't been changed and you don't need to stay here longer to get your indefinite leave to remain. So, and also to restore public confidence. These are the main points that the white paper set out. Right. There was a consultation. with regards to the settlement reform, the white paper. And this consultation, I'm sure Elder can confirm this. I worked tirelessly for the African community to be part of this consultation and put their views on. So the settlement applications and grants, year ending 2004 to 2024, these are applications and these are how many were granted. So you can see on the left side is the thousands. So from 2004, it was just below, it was around 140,000. It peaked at 250,000 around 2010 and 11. And then 2024, just over 160,000. So the current system relies on the times that you have served in the UK. Some are on the 5-year route, others are on the 10-year route. Now, that is changing. It's changing to earned settlement, to earn something. To earn something is to like work towards something through your actions. So with the current system, all you need to show is that you've lived here over a certain number of years, and then that's it. With a proposed new system, you have to earn it by doing certain things or not doing certain things. And this is important. I want you to listen very carefully. Now, this is what the consultation was about, the scoop. Who is it affecting? Those affecting is those on the left in scoop. Out of scoop is those it's not going to affect. So in scoop, skilled workers are being affected. How much you have to earn is changing, and the English language requirement is changing. Of course, health and care, we know what's happened there. The adult social care, COS is gone. That went last year, June 22nd. Yesterday, I was on TikTok and I saw somebody selling COS from Africa for 20,000. It doesn't exist. And please, if you're on here and you plan to ask a question and you start it with, oh, I saw on TikTok, your answer is not going to be answered because TikTok is not a reliable platform where you need to get information from. Any information, reliable information comes from gov.uk, not on TikTok, not on anywhere. Most of the people behind this TikTok are not even living in the UK, by the way. Let's move on. Other work-based visas, long residence and private life, family roots, 10-year pathway. These are the ones that are being affected by the white paper. So on the right side, EU settlement scheme, not touched. Everything there remains the same. WinRISE scheme grants, not touched. Spouses, partners, and dependents of British citizens are not affected. If your wife or your husband or your partner is a British citizen, none of these changes will be affecting you. British nationals overseas, sometimes we call them BNO. These are British nationals from Hong Kong and families who are Gibraltar, those who are overseas, and people who already hold indefinite leave to remain or settlement. It's not those people are not affected. So in scoop are those on the left. Those who are going to be affected. Out of scope is those on the right side. Now, the structure of earned settlement. This is very deep, so please listen very carefully. Number one, your character, suitability, character. Why is that important? February last year? This year. Last year, I think this year, earlier this year, the good character requirement came into force, which means if you make an application and you've ever been arrested or charged with something, it is likely that at some point when you get to British naturalization, it's very likely that you will be denied. We are talking about anything and everything, including, not limited to, including driving offenses. Somebody actually told me that they failed to pay a penalty charge and that's gone against them. Everything to do with your character. good character requirement. If you entered the UK illegally or via small boats, you know the small boats. Those who are coming to Dover in dinghies, the probability that you will be given British nationality is almost zero. If you did not comply to British immigration laws, if you overstayed your leave, basically anything that affects your credibility can affect your suitability, your character. Are you a good person? Are you a good person who should be allowed? Are you conducive to the public good? When it comes to criminality, forget it. It's the number one. If you go to prison for 12 months, it's automatic deportation anyway. That's not even questionable. This is on top of all that already exists. That already exists. But this is on top of that. Speeding fines. Even if you don't go to prison, it will affect you. There is a new law. It's not sponsored by the Home Office. It's sponsored by the Ministry of Justice. If you like to read further, you read the new Sentencing Act. Sentencing Act is very, very important. The way we sentence criminals are changing, and that will also affect the way Home Office deals with criminals. But it's not for us to discuss because it's from Ministry of Justice. But I do know the background information. Now, let's look at integration. How do you demonstrate that you are integrating? Is the way you behave. If you are urinating in public, in the UK, we don't urinate in public, for example. This is an extreme case. This is just an example. You are not integrating, are you? Because you are doing something that is out of the cultural scope. So integration is a difficult one. I mean, language is that as something that's important to integration. You need to integrate in a way, you need to speak in a way that you can have interpersonal relations with people. That is a form of integration. So that covers a lot of things. Contribution. Now, this is a big one. I keep telling people, when you go to church or you go to mosque, whatever religion you have, don't just turn up at church and sit down and just be a member. Contribute to something. And then when it's time for them to make application to the Home Office, they're going to the church pastor or reverend to get a letter. And that man doesn't even know them. Even though they're seen coming in, but they don't really know them as to they don't contribute. They don't volunteer for things. Contribute, volunteer for charity. Do stuff that you can put on your application to show that you are a good person. You are contributing to the better of humanity and to the better of the UK. And then there is the old residence. How long have you lived here? How long have you spent outside the UK? So now there are 4 pillars that will be looked at when granting your applications. Remember the applications which are on the left of the screen. So we are looking at character. We are looking at contribution. We are looking at integration. We are looking at residence. So the next screen will show the gateway, the baseline, and the adjustment. Again, this is a very interesting one. Now, so mandatory gateway. There will be minimum mandatory requirements all applicants must meet. Now, suitability. Must meet suitability requirements, not have a criminal conviction. I said that earlier on when I was talking about the pillars. No current litigation. Ongoing litigation, any court case against you that is ongoing. Listen to this very carefully. NHS debt. You do not owe NHS money. I'll come back to that. Tax or other government debt. Now, who pays for NHS? There is a myth. There is a myth that if you're in the UK, you can't register GP. That's not true. Every human being in the UK has the right to health, right? So you have the right to register GP without being asked where's your passport. That is not the GP's job. You are allowed primary care. You are allowed to register for primary care. It's online. You can Google it, right? However, when it comes to secondary care, which is when you have to go to hospital, GP refers you to hospital, then it becomes a problem. If you have to go into emergency, that's slightly different. But if the GP refers you to hospital, then you have to pay if you are illegally present. Now, I was on a call the other day. I used the phrase illegally present and people were unhappy. So let me break it down and explain what that means. If you are here and actively claiming asylum and your case is going through, you're not illegally present. You have legal basis to remain here whilst your application is being looked at. Somebody who is illegally present is defined as somebody with no lawful basis to remain in the UK. Lawful basis. What lawful basis do people need to be in the UK? One, lawful basis, you can be a student attending university or school and you have a student visa. Lawful basis is when you have a global talent visa. Lawful basis is when you have a COS care, adult social care visa, and you are working and you fit all the requirements. All these are lawful basis is when you have indefinite leave to remain. Lawful basis is when you're British. Unlawful basis is when you have overstayed your visa. When you are working 50 hours a week, when you're a student, and it's supposed to be during term time, only 20 hours a week, that you are breaking conditions attached to your lawful basis. So that is a problem. If you have a COS visa where you have to work in a specific industry, have a specific sponsor, and you are doing something else, that is a problem. Now, that's suitability. So I'll move on to integration. Integration, you pass life in the UK test. English level at B2, like I said. This is the minimum. So there are others, but this is the minimum, absolute minimum. So English level at B2. Remember, English level used to be B1, but it's going to go up to B2. B2 is A-level grade. Most Ghanaians, if you're on here and you're Ghanaian, most Ghanaians will probably, because we use that in our education level, it's not going to be a big deal for most people. For most people, but B2 is now going to be the requirement. And of course, you have to pass the life in the UK test. So that is the integration part. Contribution. Have annual earnings above 12,570. For minimum 3 to 5 years, subject to consultation. So these are some of the things that, of course, were covered with the consultation. So in line with current thresholds for paying income tax and NI numbers or any alternative amounts of income. So you have to earn enough to pay taxes. That's what this is about. Every person in the UK have a minimum 12,570 that they don't have to pay tax on. So if you earn anything above that, you have to pay tax. The baseline qualifying period. This is what is on TikTok and Facebook, and everybody's talking about it, that you've got to be here for 20 years. Some people are even saying 30 years before you get indefinite leave to remain, and it's causing a lot of people distress. Now, 20 years, new core protection support. What is core protection? Core protection is asylum. So, under the new core protection, every 30 months, if you claim asylum in the UK, every 30 months, you have to renew it, and it's granted. Yeah, so you'll be given permission to stay for every 30 months. So before it comes to an end, of course, you are assessed again. You make the application, have an assessment again to see if your country is still dangerous or your situation has not improved. And if you go back to your country of origin, you will still not be safe. And then you'll be granted another 30 months. So 30 months for 20 years before you can get indefinite leave to remain. This is only asylum, corporate asylum. There's more to this coming up. So this is just asylum, not everything, asylum. Now, 15 years for skilled workers below RQF 6. So, for example, it's on there, health and social care, 15 years. At that level, it will be about 15 years before you can be entitled to leave, indefinite leave to remain. Now, most routes will still be 10 years. Well, there were five to begin with. At the moment, they are 5. So the default, instead of the default being 5, is going to be 10 years. Now, these baseline qualifying periods can be reduced or increased through a time adjustment model. And I'm coming to that. The time adjustment model is made up of accelerators and decelerators. Now, the accelerators can reduce time to settlement. That can, accelerators push you forward, speed things up. English and high earnings. For example, English, this is not everything. This is just the minimum. So C1 English. So if your English is really high level English, or you earn quite a lot of money, high earnings, it can be accelerated. There are people who could be earning, 60, 70,000 and paying a massive amount of tax. That could accelerate you to get your indefinite leave to remain earlier. Now, this is important. The second one, if you're not accelerating, you are coming down, yeah? Increase time to settlement. Accelerate pushes you forward, decelerators pushes you down. So the opposite is increased time to settlement. Example, and this is very important. This is the bit I want people to listen, because there has been a high number of people applying for help, even though they're not entitled. Public fund use, if at any level, at any time you apply for help from the government, what we could generally call benefit in the Ghanaian community, you apply for benefit of any sort, that will add more years to your application. And of course, the number one is illegal entry. If you entered illegally, if you entered via small boat or using a forged document, any illegal entry is when you have not entered with the correct paperwork. So if my sister uses my passport to somehow circumvent immigration rules and come through Heathrow, so at the time of application, they cannot show how they entered the UK, that is illegal entry. If you come via small boats or at the back of a lorry, that is illegal entry. It's entry into the UK when you have not actually spoken to an immigration officer and assessed and allowed entry. So only the one that caused the largest reduction and largest increase would be applied. So if we are looking at, for example, the second one, public fund use, I'll just use benefit and illegal entry. If benefit causes maybe 5-year increase and illegal entry causes 2-year increase, we will apply, and you have both, we will apply the highest. So we will apply the 5 years instead of the 2. The highest will apply. So if, for example, under the accelerators, you have high level of English and it's 2 years, and you have high earnings of maybe 100,000, and that gives you extra 5 years, but the English gives you 2 years, we will apply the 5 years. Now, so this is a little bit complicated. You don't need to know this whole bit, but it's just a general idea so you have an idea how things are going to work. The calculation and the non-addictive rule, baseline qualifying period minus single largest positive indicator plus single largest indicator, negative indicator, equals to the qualifying period. So the baseline period, how many years? The positive thing you've done, so high English or earning a lot of money, and then we add the largest negative. So do you have a criminal record? Have you applied for benefit? What negative thing have you done? And then it will equal how many qualifying periods. So if you don't have any negative, then your qualifying period will be lower. If you don't have any negative thing, no questionable character, then you're fine. If you do, then it's a problem. So we do not add several reductions together. We just take the highest one. If you cannot You cannot, for example, stack English language and earnings and maybe volunteering. We will pick one, the highest one. Only the strongest one will be used. So if volunteering will give you extra minus 5 years or whatever, we'll use that rather than 2 years from English language. So there's a lot here. Please have a read. So integration, for example, English level, minus 1 year adjustment, contribution, for example, tax, 125,000 for 3 years, minus 7 years, for example. It's just giving you examples. So in the first one, only the 7-year one will apply. You see, if you are earning and you have English minus 1 year and you are earning a lot of money minus 7 years, we'll use the 7 years. So under the 10 years, for example, if it's 10 years, a 10-year route, the earnings of 125 will knock off 7 years. So which means you will gain your indefinite leave to remain in 3 years. If you've worked in the community, volunteering, for example, it will knock off 3 to 5 years. If you've been employed in a specified public service occupation for 5 years, for example, it's minus 5 years. 50,000 earnings for 3 years, minus 5 years. So if you're on a 10-year route and 5 years is taken off, you're doing well. So you've got another 5 years. So if you have high, let's say 50,000 and then taxable income, and then you work in the community, we will use the earnings because it's higher. So just have a read it. And then under the entry residence, hold a permission as a parent or partner of a British child, all that is on there. Right, I'll leave it for a minute or two before I move it. And these are considerations that will increase the baseline qualifying period. Only the one that causes the largest increase would be applied. It's the same, it's the opposite of the previous one. So, for example, contribution in receipt of public funds for less than 12 months, you actually was on benefits. And this is possible. People always say, oh, but if you're illegal, you're not entitled. Yes, there are people who are on a certain visa, which does not allow them to access public funds. But they can apply for that condition to be lifted if they are in a certain situation. And you will still be affected, even though it was lifted because you were in a situation. And I'll give an example of that. Students, for example, I always say this, when you are applying to be a student in the UK, you need to do your research because it can be quite distressing. When you get to the UK, there is no way you can work 20 hours a week and use that to pay your fees and look after yourself. Some people seem to think it's possible. I've never come across a student who has been able to do that in my 23 years in the Home Office. I have never. It's not possible. It's not. So they will obviously not tell the whole truth. They use their uncle's bank statement to apply for the visa. I will have $100,000 in it. So we will, 3 years. Somebody with $100,000. Oh, they can look after this person. Meanwhile, the uncle will have nothing to do with your fees. You just borrowed that bank statement. When you get to the UK, you will fall on hard times. And then you probably end up homeless. And then you will seek help. Even though as a foreign student, you have no recourse to public funds. But UK government being so good may, depending on certain circumstances, this doesn't always happen. Depending on certain circumstances, will allow you certain use of public funds. Sometimes they will help you with a room somewhere or certain things. Even if it's money, £50 every month, that will add 5 years to any settlement route you are on. I just use the student one as an example. It's not always student, it could be anything. So that will, for example, add 5 years. If you claim for less than 12 months, it's 5 years. In receipt of public funds for over 12 months. If you claim for over 1 year, which is 12 months, it's 10 years. So if you're already on a 10-year route, depending whatever all the variables are, and you go and claim asylum and they put another 10 years on, so you're here for 20 years. Arrived in the UK, example, through small boat or clandestine. Clandestine is an example I gave earlier, hidden in the back of a lorry or hanging on under a car from Dover, small boats, all those as clandestine. And it's 20 years. 20 years will be added if you entered illegally. Clandestine is also when you use, you are an imposter. You use somebody else's passport to enter. If you don't tell the Home Office how you entered, and there is no evidence of your entry, we still have something called no evidence of lawful entry. That is still clandestine. You have not provided any evidence of lawful entry. That is still up to 20 years. Of course, we will check your fingerprints to see, but if we look everywhere, we search on our systems and there is no evidence of lawful entry, that is 20 years plus. Entered on a visit visa and then you did not return as per your conditions after the 6 months, and you made an application or different applications to try and stay, up to plus 20 years. Overstayed a permission for 6 months or more. There are students who comes in for 6 months. There are other visas that gives you permission for 6 months. That's up to 20 years. So visit visa is not the only one that gives you 6 months. There are other visas, a whole lot of other visas. If you overstayed a permission for 6 months or more, so for example, if you're on a visit visa and you overstay for 3 days, 4 days, sometimes if you overstay for less than a month, it can be forgiven. But if you overstay for over 30 days and you have not been able to provide good reasons, of course, if you are just preparing to return after your visit, you get hit by a car and you end up in hospital. You can't go, can you? You can't. Or, you're in hospital, your leg is in whatever, you obviously can't go. So if you provide evidence, reasonable evidence why you couldn't go, then it will be looked at, each case will be looked at on its own merit. Everything we do in the Home Office is subject to extenuating circumstances. Now, I'll pause here before we go on to digitalization, which is quite short. This is a lot of information, so I will pause here. Ms. Amos, do you want us to take a few questions regarding what I've just spoken about before we move to digitalization?
Okay, that is good. That
A
will be
lot
good.
of information
Yes.
there.
Yeah, because other than that, people might not even remember what we've just presented. So let us take some time and then give people opportunity to ask questions. If you wanted to ask a question, you can raise up your hand. Those who are checking the YouTube for us, you can check if there's any questions coming through. And those who put the question on the chat also, to be also be looked at. So we are just looking at from the system if there is any question, hand raised. Just a minute. Okay. Is there any question? If anybody has any question, you can actually ask. But before that, ask, okay, one hand is up. Our sister Freda wanted to ask the question. Please, you are allowed to. Please unmute her for us. Unmute her. Auntie Freda, can you now speak or is still muted?
Hi.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah.
Thank you for the information so far. I just wondering, so I came in as a student I'm just giving a typical situation.
Can I
If
stop there, please? I
Yeah.
don't want anyone sharing their personal information.
No, I'm not. I'm just
Well,
a
yeah,
scenario.
don't say I
Yeah.
am. Just say, for example, if somebody, because of confidentiality issues, just
Okay.
make it vague, yeah, and
Okay.
generalize it, yeah.
So
Yeah,
supposing I came
before
in as just a student, and for some reason I found myself in financial difficulty, so I end up on public funds. Eventually, I know from what you've discussed, my settlement period is going to be increased.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
let's say to 20 years. But maybe during that period, after the increment, I find myself a very good job, and then around 100,000. What will happen then? Are they going to? Can I apply to the
Your
Home
next
Office?
it will be every 2.5 years or 2 years. So the next application will be looked at in that way.
Okay.
It
So
means that you are going to be renewing this whole period. At the moment, is 2.5 years. Every 2.5 years, you reapply. So the next application, for example, if you're on that 20-year route and your next application is due to be renewed next year, for example, whatever your situation is, it will be looked at the time of that application.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
thank you so
Mind
much.
you, this has not started yet. This is what is being looked at, and this is what the consultation was about. So it may be that after the consultation is looked at and everything, this will change. It could change. It could be anything could happen between now and when it starts.
Okay, thank you so much. Just briefly, I just wanted to do this purposely for our those of us who are on the line and maybe struggling one or two ways. The year can say the mammy can you know. And ya dear, see ya a juma. A proposal, a dear core, a him, and penny ɛtiatie mu nsɛm bi wɔ hɔ a yɛka kyerɛ m sɛ monkɔ na monkɔ kɔhwɛ sɛ de nneɛma si teɛ questions a yɛbusabusam ne nyinaa yɛ nneɛma ahodoɔ a wɔyɛ nti wɔyɛ wie na sɛ ɛtɔ din a ansa na wɔde ayɛ adwuma berɛ korɔ no a wɔhwɛ no nso no ɛtɔ da bi a wɔn sɛ na ɛyɛ charitable organisation bi ɛtumi ka bɔ wɔn nso sɛ yɛnte wei ase yɛde kɔ court ne nyinaa yɛ nneɛma wɔhwɛ nti ebi kora ɛbɛwie no na nneɛma no asesa kakra nti wei yɛ nea wɔn aka ne nea wɔn pɛ sɛ wɔn de yɛ adwuma nanso enya mɛyɛ adwuma wɔn gu so a wɔyɛ ho adwuma yɛpɛ sɛ yɛde hyɛ w'adwuma nyɛ sɛ wote yɛ no a ebi abɛte no YouTube wobɛte no ebi a Facebook wobɛte no baabi o UK mmara a ɛyɛ aseɛ ɛyie a bosom yɛ di anim yɛ a yɛpɛ sɛ ma ɔte ase sɛ nyantobo ase ansa na ɛbɔ mmɔden a read the lines no kɔ gov.uk ɛbɛkyerɛ wo berɛ a saa nneɛma no bɛhɛ ase ayɛ adwuma ɛsrɛ mo. At this moment, I thank our sister Frida so much for that powerful question. Sister Diana, could you please ask your question? Please unmute her for me. Okay. There are some about comfort because I've seen Diana's and then I've seen comfort. So if Diana is not speaking, then comfort, Sapon, you can talk, please. So you can ask the question in tree if you are struggling. Ask in tree, I will interpret it, please.
Yo, me that's it. Me patro. Minim say your friend said stay 5 years, inyama sitting there. Na me bisa say enema na so omo use 15 years no. Ebeye omo a omo ebewura mu nkyeye na say omo de afi foforo bi na ebeye te say bi a nkrofo omo ba 2021 no omo na yesha omo ase free ana say besha ase free afi ya ye amo ana say
Okay. It has not been mentioned. It has not been discussed. That it's not even in my presentation. It will be on on everybody who's on their immigration journey. So if you came in 2021, we are in 2026. I would expect that by the time this comes into force, you would have qualified through the 5-year period. So you won't be on here anyway. So probably those it would affect will be those who came in 2022. Potentially those who came in from 2022, because if you came in 2021, you're already 5 years, well, give or take a few months. This year will be your fifth year. So if all things being equal, you qualified, you earned, you did everything right, no issues with your behavior and your records, no criminal case against you, all things being equal, you should be able to get indefinite leave to remain before this comes in, depending on which month you came in. So let's pretend you came in June. Next week is June, yeah? So you could apply 28 days before your visa ends. So if you came in June, you could apply in May. So you would have already been here for 5 years by May, for example. So it would be affecting at the moment, as we are sitting here today, it would be affecting everybody who does not have indefinite leave. I already told you those in scope and those who are not in scope. Those in scope and those who are not in scope. So I showed you on here. So anybody, it doesn't give a date on who is going to affect. It just tells who and what you hold. Does that make sense? So it doesn't give a time, oh, it will start from those who came in this year or those who came in that year. It doesn't. Anybody who's on your journey, immigration journey. But if you came in 2021, depending what route you are on, if you're in the 5-year route, it shouldn't affect you because we are in 2026. So really, technically, those who should be worried are those who came 2022 or maybe late 2021. There is a possibility this may start around autumn. There is a possibility. There is a huge possibility, yeah.
Okay, I mean, sure, me that's it.
But like Mr. Amos said earlier on, anything could happen. Some things could change. For example, skilled worker could change. Some people could be knocked out of that restriction for different reasons. Although COS, adult social care, is gone, we have seen that the prison COS it still exists until next year, December or something like that. So things can change. Yes.
Okay.
Next one. Because of time, can we keep this short? Things short because of time, because I still haven't finished.
So Oka public funds no. Mpacho say only akrono na no operation ena aban ema niska.
Can I stop you there? I said you have to give an explanation. And I used an example of somebody who got knocked down by a car and ended up in hospital. So they could not adhere to the conditions of their stay. Everything is underpinned by reasonableness. It was reasonable that you ended up in hospital and you couldn't work, so the government had to help you. You will provide evidence of all that, and the caseworker will look at it and think, okay, it wasn't her fault that she fell ill. Something like that. It has to be reasonable, and everything is underpinned also by extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
Mr. Amos, can you break down in
Yes,
please? Can you say that
so much. The person can say, be ni hwa esia na ntina wo ye application na ebusa say ebia ede ntina wanyi say ebi kura mefa say anka enne na wo visa ende na wantumi anye na bia wakoye no next 2 weeks ede na course so a eno ntino wantumi anye omo pese wo kire de ntie sie ebi kura no na police car na bowo who de police car ball and the police car ball and na yedokoto hospital they see evidence wo ho the ebusa no hospital record ne neme nyina wo ho watimi provide and no ye gina bibi so ne yatimi nye se ye kan sa na ye se bibia saa bibia no egina obia nkasa ene ne hawa odemu saa bre no ene ne esi ye a okiremu na omamu ntiase ne demu de pefe a womo ebedwene ho womo so ye nipa se de nyina ebedwene ho no mo hunu ne se ye emma nipa kro no nti saa ne pese kire nti nye se ye straightforward obia nko ne ne de ipa cho continue from there we have Diana. Are you still wanted to ask the question, or you are okay with the question? Then, if just a minute, Diana, can you talk? Could you please unmute Diana?
Yes, I
Okay.
need to ask a question, please.
Yeah, okay. You can ask in English or in
Or
Twi.
We need to manage the time. Please
Yeah,
keep
so-
it short and succinct,
Yes,
please. We
yes,
have a
I
lot of
will-
questions on the sidebar as well.
I will do so, my dear. Thank you. Yeah. Brother Amos, no sister. Me bacho me nipa bi ba ha over 20 years ago. Oba na visa way na visa na pa ho. At that time no obi fa no paper odi ye adwuma. Nipa ne de na ye good a year or stay no.
Can you not say that on this call?
Yeah.
Please.
Okay.
This is
okay.
not something you can say on this call. Please.
Yes,
All
just
right.
a minute, please. Those
Intimately.
questions, yeah, those questions that are personal, and those things are the ones that the team
Okay.
will be dealing with it on the 6th at
Okay.
Slough.
Okay.
At
Okay.
Slough, we will
All
be
right.
there in persons. So that
Okay.
personal issues and the
Issue
other
needs
things,
to be.
we want
Okay.
you to meet us over there to deal with
Okay.
those situations, please. And
All
also, we are also
Mm.
saying that, as we said earlier, we don't want personal questions. If you are
Okay.
creating a scenario or an example of somebody's situation, that is different thing. But if it becomes a personal issue, please, we don't want to deal with the personal issues.
Okay.
That
All right.
so we will
Thank
deal with
you.
yours on that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Amos, can I add something? Can you please be reminded that this is online and it's also being streamed on YouTube? Anybody could join. Anybody
Okay.
could join. Do
All right.
not please come on and talk about somebody using other people's papers to work.
Yes.
It's a criminal offense.
Okay.
And I work for the Home Office. I'm Ghanaian, but I work for the Home Office. And this is why I'm speaking English and I try not to speak Chi on here.
Yes.
Okay.
For that
Okay.
reason,
Yeah.
do not mention about criminal stuff on here, please, or
Okay.
anything that is circumventing immigration rules,
Mm.
because it puts
Yeah.
me in a very difficult situation.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you know, yeah, person you can say, ɛyɛ nuanom mewɔ nsɛm bi wɔ hɔ a ɛyɛ a yɛbusa a asɛm na wɔbɛbusa no ayɛ te sɛ sɛbio obi a wakɔfa sika a ɛnyɛ papa akɔtɔ adubɔne kyɛ sɛ anka wowie a na nka yɛama wo so de wokɔ nti nsɛm a ɛtete saa no nyinaa no yɛmfa ma ha nti ne yɛka sɛ wo sɛdeɛ wohaw no siteɛ no yɛne wo bɛhyia animu fa w'asɛm no bra na yɛntie na yɛhu sɛ mmoa bi ne akwan bi wɔ mu a yɛbɛtumi afa so a ahai deɛ saa nsɛm bisa no nyinaa mesrɛ wo fa to hɔ no mu na yɛnkɔ anim Priscilla could you please unmute Priscilla? Then after Priscilla, then I have some few on the chat.
Thank you, Elder. Sister Mercy, thank you for your presentation. In your presentation, you said the EU settlement scheme is out of scope from what we have discussed so far. So there is a question out there that we know that the Home Office has made some changes about the EU settlement scheme as well for people with pre-settled status that they automatically give you. So this question is, if someone is on pre-settled and it's been due, the 5 years is finished, and automatically it has been extended for another 5 years, can the person apply for the settled visa, although the 5-year extension has been applied?
What was it before? So far as I'm concerned, there are no changes to that. So that is out of scope. So that has nothing to do with what this presentation is about.
Yes.
What is happening? Quickly. What is happening with that is, and that's a whole different issue. There's something happening with that, but it's not part of this presentation. What is happening is it has become clear that a lot of people have been granted, but they don't live in the UK and they're not paying taxes. Right? How do we know they're not in the UK? Airline information, passenger information. So checks are being done. And then HMRC, no taxes being paid via HMRC, and your national insurance number and whatever. So What's happened is they are marrying up airline passenger information and your tax records. And that if it shows that you're not in the UK but you're paying taxes, then it means somebody else is using that to work in the UK. A lot of people have been arrested, and there's a big thing coming about that regarding that. So it's for some people it's not going to be automatic. A lot of people are going to be left without leave to remain because of those checks.
Okay.
So there are changes coming there, but it's not within this at all. It's completely separate. So go online and have a read. Some are not going to be automatic and some are. And apparently some people may receive letters to tell them it was issued in error or something. There is something going on. I was in a conference where in Bristol where it was being discussed. So I think the dates that coming up, because it's not part of my area, that we have a European lead who deals with stuff like that. 22nd of June kept coming up. I don't know if something is happening on the 22nd of June, but there is something going on with that. And not everybody's going to be automatically renewed. Just keep that in mind and have a read about it. But it's not part of this.
Yeah, automatically renew for the further 5 years or for the settlement?
I have no idea. I've been told that automatic renewals are not going to be the case because a lot of people have been found not to be physically in the UK.
Present.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that such questions, as we know, some of the reasons that sometimes the 5 years go over. After that, it could be so many reasons that we are saying. It could be that the person is not living together. There's no evidence of living together or a relationship or evidence of seeing that indeed the person is living at that address. There is no dependency on that. Again, also, if as he's saying that if the other person is not working, so they can ask those evidence of working for 5 years. We are talking about your main sponsor. So those questions, we see that it is far important for you to come and see us personally at the SLAW, and then we'll be able to navigate a way to support you. The next question that I just wanted
Can
to
I come in, Mr. Amos? There is a question on there about an application not being dealt with after a year. I mean, I want everyone on here to know that applications are taking longer than a year. 1 year is not. It used to be they would give you an email to say 6 months, but there is a backlog. I will give you an example. Last weekend, 3 days or whatever, there were 1,000 small boat arrivals. They have to be processed. We do have to deal with those applications. So everything else is being delayed. Applications are now taking more than a year. I've come across a year and a half. You can put a formal complaint in. If it's not your turn, it's not your turn. There is nothing else they can do. So please just wait for the application to be looked at. Somebody also asked the question, if the application is still there, will the new rules affect it? I don't know. But from experience and from previous experience, what has been done is they would give, for example, if they announce it today the 29th, they will probably say from 1st June, applications before 3 o'clock. So if you're already there, if you already lodged the application, you lodged it under the previous rules. So usually the previous rules apply. But any renewal after that, if the renewal is under the new rules will apply. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Somebody is asking, I want to ask if someone who have been coming with domestic visa before and switch to visit visa and overstay with the visit visa. I think that the question is that you wanted
to know. What's the
question
there? There's no question there.
Yeah, there's no question. You wanted to know which one of them will be applicable. We consider the last application you did. That is the last point of your application.
So your last entry into the UK, you came with a visit visa. You are a visitor. You're not a domestic. Whatever you came in, you could have come in a million times as a businessman or whatever. The last application was to come in as a normal visit visa. The visit visa applies. Whatever you used to come enter the last time is what applies. So you used to come with a business visa, but the last time you entered on a small boat. You came on a small boat.
Yes,
you are illegal entrant. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to clarify, just for clarification on procedure, what normally happens where a tribunal directors require a document within 14 days, but the deadline is missed? I think that this particular question is a very specific, and for that reason, I would have advised that it might come to a physical one, face to face, so that we have to find so many details. It is just there are so much about this question. We need to find out what went on, what happened, and then before we can give you any advice on that.
So
let us.
Yeah, the first question, by answering it, you will be helped physically, but by answering it, you need to ask yourself, why was it missed? Because you didn't have the information, or you didn't see it, or you were ill. It would depend on all of that. And always, the Home Office is run by human beings, not computers, not AI yet. So, if there is any issue, there was any reason why you couldn't do it, if you were in hospital, if your child was, whatever reason, if it's reasonable, then they will look at it in it. But with tribunals, I don't know, simply because that is an independent entity. It's not the Home Office. You are taking the Home Office to tribunal, you see. So you are fighting with us. So we don't make the decisions at tribunal, the courts do. So if the tribunal decides that you didn't bring it on time, it has nothing to do with the Home Office. So you need to seek legal advice from solicitor or from anybody who can give you advice.
Yes, going forward, I had healthcare care professionals, example nurses and doctors, will be exempted and may still qualify after the 5 years instead of the 10 years. Could you please clarify?
No, I can't clarify it.
Yeah,
We've already
yeah,
given a caveat on that.
yeah.
That
We've talked about it
anything could
already.
happen. There are discussion as to remove, and I think it's on. Hold on, I think it's on one of the slides that if you work in certain specific government departments or public offices, there is a possibility. They've made it very, very vague. But I
Yes,
can't confirm or deny anything because that's all done through Parliament, and I don't have but that's above my pay grade. So I'm only telling you what's going on now, but there's a rare possibility, but we don't know for a fact. It's still ongoing. I know Unison, the union, is having high-level talks with the government about this.
Yes, thank you. Upon Jebi, could you please ask your question? Please omit upon Jebi.
Addaih, thank you. Stamis, thank you. My question is
Hello.
very, very clear. It goes regards to out of school. The first one, EU settlement scheme. It's quite vague and generic. So my question is: are the future dependents inclusive in this whole thing? Thank
Future
you.
dependence of who?
Of someone under EU settlement scheme. Let's say someone who is not an European.
Yeah, I think that the question was answered earlier. We have put in the circumstances, the out of scope. So as it is now, that is what we have, that we can make use of it. That it is out of scope for 5 years, unless there is something just like our sister was talking. Then they can deal with it in a differently. But as it is now, that things have not changed. If this is coming, then that is what we are expecting, that it will be out of scope.
Addaih, it's inclusive. I'm talking about inclusive of dependence. No, so the example I gave was, let's say someone with a Ghanaian passport, and then the person is under EU settlement scheme, and then the person gets married, or the person gets a child. Is it going to work, or is the child going to benefit from that? That's my question, please.
I can't answer that because I'm not a legal advisor.
Yeah. That is why I'm saying that this question, I know where you are, where the question is going, and then the demand of the question. I think that if it will be better that the person who is asking the question could meet us at the slough, and we will be able to help the person. That is the work that we are going to do face to face, please.
Yeah, thank you. And Mr. Amos, obviously, you can get them to maybe give their names to somebody.
Yes.
if they are reverend or somebody's online. So if you nominate somebody for them to contact, that probably will be helpful as well.
Yes.
Yeah, there are questions on here as well about domestic abuse and applications. And should I apply? I will never tell you what to apply. That is not my job. My job is to give you information and maybe go and read about it and speak to a qualified person who can help you make an informed decision. But there are some things that you can research yourself. So if you go to somebody who needs to help you, a solicitor or a qualified person, and they know that you are informed, it will help them get things done quickly for you.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I'm going to ask one from the chat, and then Hannah, prepare for your question. I am in the on the skilled worker visa, which is due to expire on August this year. I met my partner here, and we have a child together. He has EU pre-settled, and then he applied for further leave to remain for both me and then the child. Whilst waiting for the decision, there was domestic abuse, and we were separated from him. Our application was refused, and an appeal has been made for the based on a child visa status. Okay, please, is this application going to work on? Please, with this question, I don't want her to even come into the question. This question is practically it's a legal question that is not what they are going to do. It's just like you are asking the Home Office to make application for you. It is a conflict of interest, and therefore anything that is direct demanding to them, please, I would advise that we don't go there. Those ones are the ones that the team will be dealing with it physically or personally. So that is something that I will tell you. Come and meet us. You will see the best way we can help you.
Thank you.
Hannah, okay, I think that Tina, you can ask your question, please. Tina.
Sorry, Addaih, it's Hannah first. Sorry.
Okay, Hannah, please. Please, can you mute Hannah? If Hannah is not ready, then Tina, please. Okay, now you can do it.
That's it. Masembusa ne se na ne kasem no ka bibi se se unni asetena wa ha kra na uko GP a uko register we save ana because we register we are na sometimes no mo do
Mr. Wa me wie ya me tua mama me ye
Hannah, question, go ahead.
so ultimate register na so be visit for 3 months and I say bia only asetena ultimate register na GP masembusa na emfa how bia ama
Uni asetena the American say uni asetena primary care. So what ya kwa na uni asetena ubetimi akwa yeah. Ubetimi register GP but obi besra we ni say yes sir. Obesra wakọ no. Meka obi a mefa nso wote ha woni nkrata wote ha. A wote ha illegally na meka. Na se obi besra wa ade na wo se obesra wo so ode na yi ne travel insurance ba. Eno ye different because oba besra wo na wotwe na wotwe mienu bo so me ade na wo kwakọ register GP. Na just all ye can say medical tourist ana.
Okay, say enti say bia woni asetena ofa boat so na ba ye de a ubetimi akọ register because
so what dey adro me kyerɛkyerɛ mu sɛ wodi adro a wonya illegal sɛ wadro no guso a sɛ ye refuse wa na ye ka sɛ kwa and a problem even that you are still legally here so if your application is ongoing you are not illegal. You are legal because your application is ongoing. And you can, of course, register GP. You absolutely are able to register GP. However, if you are illegally here, then when you go to hospital, you have to pay. It's secondary care. You have to pay. And if that money is against your name and you make any application, that will go against you, like I said in the presentation. But I would not advise that if you're here as a visitor, you apply, you register for GP. No. When I'm going on holiday, for example, to America, I buy travel insurance. I'm not going to go there and just make an application to see a GP there. No, that could affect you, and it will affect you, because then it means that you had something planned before you came. Why would you do that? Yeah. You wouldn't do that. If something happens to you whilst you're here, like I had my niece here from America, she had an asthma attack, very serious asthma attack. I had to go to A&E. That's different. She was here as a visitor, but that's different. It was an emergency, urgent care. So I took her to the hospital, and at the hospital, after she was seen, they asked her for insurance, and she gave the insurance details, and that was it. That's what visitors do. You have to come with travel insurance.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that the next person is Tina. Tina, please, can you ask your question? And then Moses, then we go to the next stage. Then we'll come back after Moses. We go to the next presentation. Then
we have a lot of messages. I don't know if you're going to read them.
Yeah,
some
there are some of the messages that I've been taken from here. I am working with. That's the ones that we are asking along the line. Yeah. So Moses,
can I quickly answer? I'm on there as well. There's one from somebody called Roxanne's iPhone. You see, these are questions that we have been talking about for a very long time. Students who were unable to attend university. Why? If you're a student, why were you unable to attend? What reason? If you're a student in the UK and you're unable to attend, that is why you came to the UK. And it's resulted in cancellation of their visa, they have to return. That is what the law requires, or they have to apply in a different capacity. Now, that question is, what other capacity can they apply under? That is not my job. The Home Office does not tell people what application to make, and that is not part of my job. My job is to give people information. So if you feel that you are a student, you came to the UK for whatever reason, you couldn't study. Well, that's why you came to the UK. Why couldn't you study? If you can't resolve the reason why you can't study, the first thing is you have to look at returning, because you couldn't do what you came to the UK to do. Number two, if you want to continue staying in the UK, you have to quickly make an application under a different capacity. And the third question what you would ask is, what capacity? Nobody can choose a capacity for you. You have to look at your situation and look at the immigration rules and have a sit down with a legal person to discuss what other capacity that will fit your particular situation. There is no one size fits all. Everybody's situation is different. Somebody may have been unable to go to school because when they came, they ended up pregnant with somebody who's a British national. So they have since had a child who's British. Their situation is different. Somebody just couldn't go because they just couldn't pay the fees, and they have since been here illegally. That situation is different. So your particular circumstance will determine what application you need to make. Having said that, if you do not have leave to remain, I would really urge you, and you are illegally present, I would really urge you to do something about it. Do apply for voluntary return, where the government will give you money and help when you get to Ghana or wherever you're going, somebody to help you there as well. Reintegration fund or reintegration team will help you. If you stay and you are encountered and you are removed, the possibility that you will ever be issued with a visa is zero. If you voluntarily leave, you leave with your dignity intact and with a possibility that you can come to the UK in future. All your future application to return will depend on the strength of the application. And that's a much, much better way of doing things. Somebody also put on there about, can somebody who's here as a visitor marry somebody? There is a massive question there. When you're on a visiting visa, you cannot switch onto anything, technically, according to the immigration rules. Technically, you can't. So you came here, you met that somebody within, a month or two, and you getting married. There are so many questions that will lead to that. You can't get married, but you will be investigated for 70 days. So when you register to get married, they will give you 70 days. If two British people are getting married, it's 28 days. If one person does not have indefinite leave to remain, it will be 70 days. By that time, they probably would have overstayed anyway. And then the investigation will go on. You go to an interview, a whole lot of process has to happen. And then you'll be given permission to get married. Now, that's a tricky place to be because that marriage does not automatically confer immigration advantage. It doesn't give you permission to stay in the UK. It's a marriage because you are in love. It's a marriage because you are religious and you can't be together unless you're married. But there is no immigration law that says your marriage life has to be in the UK. There is none. So you can be married. We won't stop you from getting married. But there is no guarantee that that marriage will lead to leave to remain in the UK because that married life can happen elsewhere.
Yeah. There's one more question. The UK government sponsors people who have stayed in the UK for 3 years in apprenticeship courses. Would this affect the long leave to remain application, especially the number of years? He's talking about.
Okay, I don't know anything about apprenticeship. So I work for the Home Office, the immigration. I don't work for the whole of the other departments. You have to, it's your job to do your research. Go and look in there in the apprenticeship. Look at what it is. Does that constitute or as public funds? So if it says those who have lived in the UK for 3 years, sometimes it's for those who have lived with a certain type of visa, who have indefinite leave to remain. You see, British people can have restrictions on them, by the way. It's not just those who have Ghanaian passports or illegal. British person, if you have not lived in the UK over a certain number of years, you can have restrictions on you. I'll give you an example. A British person born outside the UK or who have lived outside the UK for a certain number of years, if you come to the UK to study, you will have to pay international fees because you have not contributed to taxes. So if you've been out of the UK for example, 3 years and you're British, and then you come back tomorrow, that apprenticeship will not apply to you, even though you are British. So there is more than, it's much more than that, than just papers. It doesn't matter. British people also have restrictions. British people, by the way, cannot use NHS secondary care if they don't live in the UK. Yeah. Even if you have indefinite leave to remain and you don't live in the UK, you shouldn't be using an secondary care. So a British person who retires to Spain, for example, retired to Spain we're in 2020, and unfortunately they are diagnosed with something and they quickly come home and no, you're not entitled to secondary care because you have not lived in the UK for over 3 years. Believe it or not, that's the rule. So some of these rules, it's not just because you're not British or you don't have British passport or you don't have indefinite leave. It's a general rule that affects everybody.
Yeah.
And it has something to do with tax contribution.
Yeah. The next is Tina. Then we move to the next part. Tina, could you please ask your question? The other questions, there are some few questions that I have, but when I go through some of the questions, it is back to the same situation. Those that are personal, that are not in line with the Home Office dealing with it. It's something that has to be on the 6th June. Questions that you need to bring it in persons for us to deal with it. So, Tina, please, can you ask your question?
Okay, thank you so much. Please, my question is, the message made mention of COS not available. I want you to clarify. Is it not available? It's not available for those who are outside the country or those who are in the country, please.
It's not available. When I say it's not available, if you're already on that route, it's available to you. You can switch, but no new cases are being granted.
Oh, okay. Please, there's someone I know, the company's license has been revoked, and then the person has applied for further leave to remain. for about 6 months now. He has still not gotten any switch. Is there any advice, please?
No, I don't advise people, and I'm not legally allowed to advise people.
Yeah, that is why I said that those of the questions I've checked it has to be in person. You have to come down and see us, and for us to deal with the situation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The next presentation, please, Sister Mercy. Because of time, let's
just
carry
1 minute.
on.
I have a colleague on there who has also just told me she has answered a couple of questions on there.
On the chat room. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good one. Okay. Unless hand is up. Unless then you ask your question, then that will be. I see Nana Adumako. These two questions has to be the last on this session. Please, if you raise up your hand again, I will take you to the last bit when we are done with the presentation. Then we handle your question. So the next person is Nana Adumako. After Nana Adumako, then Alex.
Just 1 minute whilst Nana Adumako is coming on. The British citizen and the visitor marriage again. Please advise the visitor not to come as a visitor. They could come as a spouse with a marriage visa. There's something called a marriage visa. So it will give them permission to come to the UK and get married. And it will give you a number of days. So if you arrive, you have to marry within these days. And then you can get married and they can go back. But as a visit visa, it's a long process. So they should come with a marriage visa. Please go on gov.uk and then read on that.
Thank you. Nana Adumako, please, omit him, please.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Please, my question is, a family came here, and then one of the daughter she's now 16 years, and she want to apply for apprenticeship. She's dependent. They are here in 3 years now. Is she qualified to apply for apprenticeship in school or is public fund, please?
This question, for instance, we don't know on what visa that the person came with.
Dependent.
I said dependent. Yeah. on the parent or.
Yeah, she's here with the parents. She's in the school already. Now you want to apply for secondary school, college apprenticeship.
Okay. If Sister Mercy, if it is not in your remit, then I will advise that the person will come and see us in person. If it is in your remit, please take over.
Usually, it's not in my remit anyway because it's asking me about apprenticeship, and I've already mentioned that you have to ask if that kind of apprenticeship is deemed as a benefit, a public fund. However, at 16, I don't believe it will be. It's probably if he's 16 and it's part of education, I don't believe it will be, but don't quote me on it because it's not my area. I deal with immigration. I know it crosses with immigration, but you need to find out again what the apprenticeship is, and then you ask them. You tell the school, this is what visa we are on. Will this be fund or whatever, a public fund? I don't believe it will be for a 16-year-old. So, but I please don't quote me on it. You will need to look into it yourself to find out what sort of apprenticeship. I don't know anything about apprenticeship. That is for the Department of Education. I talk about the immigration side. All I'm saying here is ensure that you are not claiming benefits. It will make things longer for you. That's all I'm saying. Whether something falls within benefits will be a different department's business. Does that make sense? All I'm saying is this is the information. Benefits will affect you negatively. This is all I'm saying. Whether all questions go, oh, is this benefit? It's not my job to decide whether that is a benefit or not. You need to find out if that particular course is deemed as public fund or not.
Thank you so much, Alice.
Thank you. Thank you for putting this together. And then also Auntie Mercy for coming on to educate us. My question might be a bit technical and perhaps might not be within your purview. However, I want to take this opportunity to poke the bear a little bit because it comes to the Home Office. Under the English law, especially case law Apt and Apt, which is 1948 case law, it states that proxy marriages being foreign ought to be recognized under the English law. Why does the Home Office appear to struggle with this principle?
They don't struggle with the principle. I used to work, I used to lead on marriages. They don't struggle with the principle. Or some other variables have to be present. I have seen people being granted under proxy, but there are other variables that have to be present. And it's same with, for example, proxy Islamic laws, as Islamic marriage as well.
Yeah.
It's they don't struggle at all. But even with the normal British marriage, like I said, it does not automatic confer immigration advantage, because within the same law, it doesn't tell you that because you're married to a British person, that marriage life has to be in the UK. And that's the bit that people struggle with. We're not saying the marriage is not okay. We're saying that there are other variables that also have to come into play. And also, that law says we have to accept it as marriage, but the law also does not stipulate that has to automatically confer leave to remain, or the marriage has to happen in the marriage life has to happen in the UK.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Dufie Danso. Diana Dufie Danso, have you already asked your question? Okay, could you please unmute her?
Yeah, okay. Addaih must and Sister Mercy Damase. Pepa my child, but say, so we have application go home office, say marriage in Sabia 1 or 2 years, and I went to woman car. And then I'll bet to me, I be
1 or 2 years.
I am patcher you.
That, I mean, 1 or 2 years is a long time. When you say 1 or 2 years, can you be a bit more specific? How long has it been? 1 or 2 years is not. It's too. Yeah. No, 1 year or 2 years. Which one are you looking at? 2 years or 1 year?
1 year plus.
Okay,
almost 2 years. Marriage.
Okay. Have you heard anything since the application was lodged?
No.
You did not receive an acknowledgement letter?
No, nothing.
I have a problem with that. Who lodged it for you?
Lawyer.
Go to your lawyer and ask for your acknowledgement letter. Are you in contact with this lawyer? Are you 100% sure the lawyer has done it? Are you 100% sure that the lawyer still exists and is still operating? That's all I'm going to say, because I come across so many cases where people trust the lawyer with the money and the lawyer never lodges the application. This is why I asked you.
Any banana de call your home office, born in Sano.
So why do you say you haven't received an acknowledgement letter? Every application you make, you do receive something to say your application has been received. So you've been there.
They said application received, but you can hear from them now from 2 weeks to 9 months. Now it's more than 1 year.
Yeah. There is I've said it already. I don't know when you joined, but I've said it already that there is a backlog because of the small boat issues. And then within the last week, 1,000 people arrived in 3 days. And people are working on it. So this is why there is a backlog. There wasn't a backlog 2-3 years ago. Now there is, unfortunately. And that's why cases are taking long. So if you have an acknowledgement letter and it has been confirmed received, then you are okay. You don't really need to do anything. You just have to wait. Unfortunately, this question has come up quite a bit on this call. I do not know when applications are going to be granted or dealt with because there is a backlog.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think
if you live somewhere, just quickly, I will add this. I'm not going to take any more questions. I have to move on.
Yes.
Very quickly. If you're on here and you are within the London area,
Mm-hmm.
there is an immigration surgery. Immigration surgeries are whereby the Home Office immigration staff do sit down and talk to people, and they bring up your application and actually look it up. And this happens in Hackney. There is a church on Kingsland High Road called Christ Apostolic Church. If you have a pen or tap it on your phone, Christ Apostolic Church on Kingsland High Road. Christ Apostolic Church on Kingsland High Road. I'll look for the full information.
Yeah.
And put it on before we finish up. I'll put it on the sidebar.
Okay.
The fourth Thursday of every month. The fourth Thursday of every month. You can come there and speak to immigration officers who may be able to tell you what's happening.
Okay. Thank you.
You need to be in contact with your lawyer in case they are requesting certain documents and whatever. Always get in contact. And also, if your lawyer tells you they've done something, can you get a copy of that something they've done or evidence? So, I uploaded this. Can you send me evidence that it's been received? Always be on top of things, because there's been so many cases where certain things were not done. I will move on to the next
All right,
section.
thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm going to talk about the universal permission to travel. We are running late. So since early this year, except British and Irish nationals who are exempt from immigration control, everybody needs permission to travel. This part is relevant to those with two nationalities, British passport and Ghanaian passport, for example. So now let's go through British and Irish nationals who have both, for example, dual nationality. You always have to have a valid British passport when you travel. If you have a Ghanaian passport, you cannot use that. You can use that to travel to Ghana, but you can't use that to enter the UK if you are British. So you have a British passport and you have a Ghana passport. Your British passport must always be valid. So you travel out on the Ghana passport, you come in on the British passport. But when you approach the desk, put both. So if you are British, you cannot apply for ETA. You always have to have a valid passport. Otherwise, you can't come in. It will be a problem. There are stories of people stuck abroad because of that. Please, always have a valid British passport. Don't listen to the noise that's going on TikTok. Always have a valid British passport. That's all you need to remember. Always have a valid British passport. That's all you need to remember. Okay, so those already granted permission to enter or stay in the UK, everything is now on e-visa. Entry clearance is like a visit visa. Any visa that's issued abroad for you to enter the UK is called entry clearance. Biometric residence document, you don't have a card anymore. And for the really old residents in the UK who has paper stuck in their passport or stamp or whatever, I will come to you. Now, there are no physical evidence. There is nothing that you can show that you have permission to stay in the UK, physical. It's all online, and that's what the e-visa account is for. E-visa is evidence of permission to travel. Don't worry about that. The e-visa is linked to your passport number. So when you change your passport, you renew your passport, you lose your passport, and you get a new one, you need to update the Home Office and update your e-visa account. Now, those who do not need a visa, like Americans or EU nationals who don't actually need a visa, there is something called ETA, electronic travel. Electronic travel. What you need to do is you make the application. How much is it? I think it's something like £15 or something. You make the application online, and sometimes you get the results within 15 minutes. It's very, very quick. Sometimes it takes longer if there are issues. You have issues. We have issues with you. The UK government has issues. So it's electronic travel authorization. If you've done something in the UK or you have a previous questionable immigration history, you may not be allowed to come in. people have been refused as well. So Americans, EU nationals, Brazilians, those who do not actually need an entry clearance, which is a normal visa to come in, they have to apply for ETA. And it's also, again, linked to your passport to be used. So when your passport is scanned, it will show whether you have ETA or not. So if you are granted ETA, the Advanced Passenger Information API will be submitted to the Home Office, and the Home Office will respond to show who's got permission and who hasn't. So when you check in, the information comes to the Home Office, and the Home Office will respond whether you should be allowed or you shouldn't. So we have done this for years, e-visas. Oh my God. The SDA Church and I did this years ago. And where we are is a lot of people now have their e-visas. When you get granted, it goes to your e-visa. The other day, last month, or on one of my Thursday surgeries at CAC, this man had been granted. He didn't even know because he hadn't logged on to his e-visa. I don't know how that happened. They obviously sent him an email. It went to his spam, and he had been granted, and it was sitting in his e-visa account, and he wasn't even aware. So when he came, we advised him to look in there. He looked in there, and his records had been updated, and he had been granted. But he hadn't known for like 3 months. I don't know. So if you have e-visa account and you've got an application, you can check the progress on there as well. Now, so e-visa again is the digital proof of a person's immigration status that replaced the biometric residence card, BRP card, or the BRC card. Now, legacy documents. Legacy documents are the old wet ink stamp or old veneer stickers in the passport. I think I have a picture here. Yeah. These are legacy documents. So before, years ago, I think before 2003, you could actually be granted at the airport with a stamp like that. Or when you're granted at the Home Office, you'll be given a paper. And normal visas up until, I think, last month, when you're coming to the UK as a visitor, is stuck in your passport like the one below. All that is gone. Everybody now gets issued in an e-visa account. However, if you've still got the old style document, a legacy document, what you will need to do is you need to apply for something called NTL, and it's free. Apply for NTL and then do your biometrics. The reason why this is important is the e-visa account cannot be stolen because it's linked to your biometrics. Somebody just said, yes, I presented the application and they took my fingerprints. Yes, your fingerprints are what will be used if there is a dispute on a name. If two people have to say this is mine, that's mine, we will use the e-visa, the biometrics to find out, your fingerprints to find out who the account belongs to. So if you're on the old legacy document, we don't have your details unless you claimed asylum, and by now it's been destroyed. So you have to apply for NTL, and as part of the process, you go for your biometrics, and then, of course, we have your biometrics, and you are given an e-visa account. It's important. This is the new thing. The government is a priority, and the government is appealing to people, especially the older generation in our community, to do it. If your mother, your grandmother has the old style, please try and encourage them to go for e-visa because it cannot be stolen. And also, we don't want a repeat of the Windrush style scandal that happened because another older generation didn't register, or there were issues and some papers went missing. We don't want that to happen again. So if you have a mother, uncle, whoever, and they are on the old leave to remain, they're not British, but they are on the old one, please encourage them to give their biometrics and switch on to e-visa. It's very important. Yeah, so this is it. You should make a no time limit application, which is the NTL. And if you have indefinite leave or to enter, I said earlier, years ago, you could actually be given indefinite leave at the airport, and that's called indefinite leave to enter. It was ILE, and then indefinite leave to remain. given in the country is ILR, and you prove your right using a passport containing an ink stamp or vignette, sticker, or any type of legacy document. Some only have letters, even an A4 letter with a Home Office stamp on it. All that needs to be sorted. Please apply for NTL, which is no time limit. Give your biometrics and then open an e-visa. Please take a picture of this page if you feel that you have any family member who could benefit. Please take a picture of this page and share it with them. It's very important. And the Slough chaplain, please take a picture of this page so that everybody can be everybody, you can send it to everybody in the church. Please, this is very important. We have a lot of older generation, especially old Commonwealth countries, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya. We have a lot of older generation who still have the old leave to remain, and they never applied for British passport. Those with British passport are not part of e-visa. They have British passport. If you have dual nationality, you have British Ghanaian passport, always make sure if you're traveling, your British passport is valid. Otherwise, you can't come in. You can't apply for ETA. You cannot do that. You have to have a valid British passport to come in. So how to apply for NTL? Check eligibility, of course. If you have that document, you gather your required documents, evidence that you have permission to stay here. Look for the correct application. This is the link I showed earlier. E-visa, and use your online immigration status. Choose the correct application, create a UKVI account, submit the application online, provide biometric data, respond to Home Office requests. A lot of requests that will come through because they still want more evidence or more information or whatever. They will send letters to request for more. I helped a lady at the surgery, and they requested quite a few things, and she was getting worried. She came to see us, and we helped her. It's a procedure. They just want to ensure that the right person is doing it. That's all. There is no other reason why they'll request for more. They just want to make sure before we link a biometric information to somebody's card and the person is 85, we have to ensure it's the right person and not somebody else trying to impersonate the person. And then you receive your e-visa in your e-visa UKVI account. Right, this is a quick one. Electronic travel authorization. I've already mentioned that. If you have family and friends visiting from America, from EU, from Australia, this is what they need to apply, ETA. When you book your ticket to fly, now you are told by whoever you're booking with, ensure you have ETA. And I can tell you, sometimes it takes 15 minutes. You can take a picture of that as well. You can buy an advanced one, which is valid for 2 years if, of course, the person travels frequently. But ensure that you have a passport that has 2 years left on it, and it costs £20 per application. And these are the reasons why we've introduced that. It strengthens the security of the UK border. And then how applications can be made. There's actually an app, UK ETA app. I think that would be great for frequent flyers or those who transit through the UK. Yeah. The application must be made at least 3 days before travel. And then who needs ETA? And those who do not need ETA, people visiting the UK who need a visit visa. So if you're a Ghanaian visa holder, you don't need ETA. You actually need a visa, an entry clearance to do that. It's for those who wouldn't usually require an entry clearance, like America, Australia. They just need permission to travel. It's like if you're going to America and you have a British passport, it's the same. If you have a British passport plus a Ghanaian passport, please, 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 it is important you have a valid British, but not expired, valid British passport when you travel and you are coming back. Always, please. Yeah, you always carry your British passport or another passport which has your certificate of entitlement to right of abode. Again, that's a very old visa that used to be given to those who have dual nationality, right of abode. I don't think there are many of them around, but and even if they are, the passport would have expired by now. We stopped issuing them a long time ago. So this is the end of my presentation. If anybody wants me to go back on anything because they want to take a picture, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our sister, for such a powerful presentation. We are excited for tonight, for all this time that you have with us. You have given us more information. And I think that those of us on the line also can testify that we've learned a lot. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And then I will, in order for us to move on, I will just take a quick opportunity to ask if there is any question, a few questions around. I will ask that we deal with those questions based upon the second presentation. If there is no match on the second presentation, and then we wanted to move from here to the first one, there will be few things that we can handle from now. I think we have taken more time, so we are not going to take longer time to deal with so many questions. Thank you for coming, and also going back, I'm just seeing that those who wanted to ask a question, if you want to ask a question, please show by your hand and then ask your question. The previous one was Nana Adumakwas. For that one, we have dealt with it. Let us put your hand down. If there is any other person who wanted to ask a question, please show by your hand, or you can send it to the chat. I'm just monitoring the chat. If anything comes in, Sister Jane will send me those information.
I have just quickly put something online. Christ Apostolic Church 217 to 223 Kingsland Road, London E2 8AN. This is where the face-to-face immigration surgery by immigration officers. This is different from what's happening in Slough. This is very different. You cannot come to this one and talk about you using somebody's details to work and stuff like that. I'm begging you. Not that you won't get into trouble. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
You can be as honest as you would rather you don't. Yeah.
Let me take the time to explain this one in tree because it's very, very important. What is happening at the Christ Apostolic Church, UK? That is a 217 to 223 Kingsland Road, London E2 8AN. What is happening is that the Home Office as a team who are staying there, especially those who have issues about making application that has delayed over the period. They don't know why it has been delayed. When you go there, they will gather your information and they will check from the system, and then they will be able to come out and tell you that it is because of this and because of this. Maybe a letter has been sent, we have not got a response. They will be able to help you to get the reason why. But if you go there and then you don't know what to do, I swear, if you go there, they will be able to help you, especially those who have stayed here for 20 years and other things. If you go there, they will be able to support you, navigate your way out. However, there are certain things that are not accepted. And there may be a while, untimi nkɔnkɔka ana ayi obi awo ama makɔsan saa nneɛma no mesrɛ wo ɛmfa mmam baabiaa ana afei nso no ma kyɛ sɛ nneɛma bi wɔ hɔ a ɛna maka no ayɛ sɛ deɛ wakɔfa sika bɔne de akɔkɔtɔ adubɔne ɛyɛ sɛ nka hɔ ara no na yɛaka kyerɛ sɛ tena ha twɛn yɛba nti mesrɛ wo
by the way. They won't, but they will be cautious with you. They will be very cautious. They won't report you. Can I please explain this? They won't arrest you. They won't report you or anything. But just be cautious. Know how you phrase certain things. Just say, instead say, yeah, to say Mr. Mosca, oh, me no be a one will be a cosama. Me just say, oh, my ex-boyfriend just signed, registered the baby, but doesn't want to have anything to do with me. You see, it's as someone when you who the wow be see how be come. What did they make us say?
Ɛsɛ wokyerɛ mu yie na ɛma ɛnkɔfa ahaw bi ama nti no ɛsrɛ sɛ ɛhɔ no deɛ wokɔ a ma ɔkasa no nyɛ yi ana I think the last time somebody went there, they have people who do interpretation or translation over there. I think so.
Yeah,
If you go there,
I'm always there. Well, 99% of the time I'm there. I don't do it, but I will be in the same room on another desk, and sometimes they call me to come and help them. Yes.
Yes. So that's one thing. But for next week, what is happening at the Slough? It is I think that it go beyond that. Because we are dealing with the legal issues, and the application and everything. And things that we need you to refer you to that place, you refer you, especially over delaying of application and other things, you can refer you straight away to that place. And then come with your document, come with anything that is about your application. If it is something to do with judicial review, administrative review, pre-action protocol, and also appeal and the fresh application, we will assess and we will do it right there for you. So everything that we are doing is free of charge. So that is something that we wanted to be aware. And then also along that every weekends we meet Saturdays. And then when we meet over there, we'll be able to check and see if we can book appointment for you to see us every weekends, every Saturday, and we meet regularly. Every Saturday. So that is also something that we can do to help you. I think that there's somebody's hand is on the, I see, brother, unless, or is it the old one? Unless hand is up. Yeah. Could you please ask your question, please?
That is a very quick one. On the Mercy's second submission, she did make mention of the fact that if a dual national, for instance, a Ghanaian and British, and you're going outside the country to Ghana, for instance, you can't travel on your Ghanaian passport and return with that of the British passport. My question is this: if you do travel outside the country with a Ghanaian passport and something happens in Ghana, God forbid, and the British government is to evacuate the British nationals, would they, as long as having a British passport to hand, take you as part and parcel of those people they are evacuating, or because you travel outside with a Ghanaian passport, they will deem you as a Ghanaian national?
This is a great question,
yes.
Alex. It's a great question. I don't have my passports near me, but years ago, there used to be a page in your passport that clearly tells you that if you're dual national and you are found in your house, in your home country, you find yourself in trouble in your home country, you won't be a priority. So when I travel to Ghana, I always use a visa. I don't have, I have a Ghanaian passport, but I haven't renewed it for years for that reason. Because if I'm back in Ghana and something happens, I want to be treated exclusively British so that I'll be evacuated first. But if you are going on a Ghanaian passport, it doesn't matter. You'll still be treated as British, but you won't be a priority because you're still home. If a British person with no links to Ghana is there, they will be treated first. It used to be in the back, one of the back pages. Have a look at the cover page of the passport. It used to be there. It doesn't mean they will leave you to die, for example, but you won't be one of the first ones they pick up. I haven't seen it happen, but that's what I know. And I can't tell you on gov.uk where it is, but I will look for it. Years ago, that was the policy. So you are onto something there. If you are in your home country and you have dual nationality, you are home. You are home. So they will literally pick up the British people with no links to that country first before, but they won't leave you to, they will help you, but you won't be priority. This is what I know. So it's a great question. I've always known that, and a lot of people do know, but please look at the cover of your passport. I don't remember if it's in the actual passport or was in a paper which was given to you, but look at the cover. And please look online. I will also, whilst I'm here, I will stop sharing my screen and also go on the intranet and look for it. But it used to be a thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think that your camera is off, so you can push it on. Once again, I think that the question that Brother Alex asked that you have answered. We have had a number of some of the instances of that issue happening. Those who travel in Ghana passport, and then they gone there, they had an accident, and then in the process of accident, because it is very critical. They called us and we directed them to the British High Commissioner. And then they went there and they asked them to bring their passport. They brought the British passport and they checked in and they asked, how did you get here? And then they said that they came here with the Ghana passport. So yeah, okay, you have come to your home country. This is not our business.
That's right.
So they didn't help. So it is something that we must not forget, even especially during the COVID. During the COVID, when COVID strike, they went there to bring their nationals from various countries. But those who went there with the Ghana passport and their home country passport, they were not considered because you are already in your home country. We have advised people that it is far better for you to go and get a visa and travel, so that if anything happens, you go to British High Commissioner, you get the support that you need, so that it will help you. Thank you.
Thank you for answering that. It's actually written in your passport. Was written in your passport. If you can have a look, please, at the on the cover inside, it tells you if you are at home, then you won't be a priority. They don't say that it won't help you, but they do say you won't be priority. I think that used to be the line. Whether that's changed, but thanks very much, Mr. Amos, for explaining. Personally, I don't do that. I always go on a British passport for that reason. And my children too. Yeah, and my children too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's thank you so much. Moses, could you please ask your question?
Yeah, thank you, Elder and Auntie. Please, could you confirm or repeat the date and the time the Home Office met in the address you put it on the chart?
Which address?
Sorry, repeat again.
Yeah, he's talking about the London.
I'm talking about the surgery.
Oh, the surgery.
Yeah.
It's the fourth Thursday of every month, so it was actually yesterday.
All right. So
I'm writing it now.
What? Okay. Oh, thank you.
The fourth Thursday.
Also, if I may.
From 11 to 3.
Oh, from 11 to 3. Also, if I may, I know maybe it will be a personal, but it's not personal. If someone had an application and has received only one letter that, oh, we have received your application, do this, and then after 1.5 years, you haven't heard anything. You have several emails sent to the Home Office, no reply. What do you do? Because normally I've heard that all your calls go through agency these days. So if you call them, if you call the agency, they will say, oh, we will pass you through and we will see if they will call you back or they will reply your email. What do you do? What can you do?
I'm not aware of the agency part. All I know is there's a call center, whether that's been made independent or, I don't know. But all I know is there's a call center and they log the call on your records. So your caseworker will see that because cases are allocated, I think, a month or so upon receipt. So that's why you are in a queue with your caseworker, not in any general queue. It's allocated, so it's somebody's case. but it's in a queue with that person. What do you do? If you made the application yourself, you can send a letter. If you made it through a lawyer, the lawyer can chase it up. But I've said it earlier on, I don't know when you joined, there's a huge backlog at the moment, which didn't exist before. So this is the problem. There is a backlog. 1.5 years is what I've been hearing. It's kind of reasonable depending on the application. There are straightforward applications which people receive within a year and 2 months or something, and those are the straightforward ones. So if this is not straightforward, then it could take longer. But if this person is near where there is an immigration surgery, by all means, Slough. I'm trying to think if there is. I don't think there is any in Slough because the team that covers Slough is Eaton House. The surgery they run is not for stuff like we do. The surgery is for those who want to return to their home countries, like voluntary returns.
Okay.
Only. Whereas here we deal with voluntary returns and we deal with other issues as well.
So the closest address is what
This
you
one,
have
yeah.
given to us.
That's correct, yeah. And there's a possibility I will be there. So the 4th Thursday of every month, yeah.
4th Thursday every month.
Yeah, this month it was actually yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you just missed that. So the next one, hold on, I have got the poster here. So May 28th, the next one is June 25th.
June 25th.
June 25th and July 23rd. August 27th, September 24th, and October 22nd, and November 26th. That's the rest of the year.
Okay.
So June 25th, July 23rd, August 27th, September 24th, October 22nd, November 26th.
Okay. Thank you very much. Will it be favorable or your kindness to give the poster to Elder so we can?
I will do. Yeah, I will do.
We have it.
Do.
So when we come there,
okay, so we can share. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. The next person.
Sorry, Elder. Sorry, quick one. Well, do they need to register or it's just a walk-in?
No, you don't.
No.
You just come in.
Walk in.
Okay. The finishing time is actually 4, but I put 3 for a reason. Because sometimes when it becomes too crowded, we close the doors.
Right.
So I always tell people, even come before 2.
Right, great.
Yeah, sometimes we can have like 14, 15 people there when it's 2 o'clock. So we lock the gate and we don't allow any more people in there. So just make sure you come early. By the time I literally go through the gate, there's normally 10 people waiting. So try and come early so that you're not locked out.
Thank you.
We don't register. You just walk in, yeah.
So as we are saying that next week, Saturday, we will be at the Slough, but it will be only, ours will be only just next week. After that, we are gone to different place. I think that from there, we will be heading towards Birmingham as we've put that plans ahead. So Birmingham will be in the next, and then it will continue. So, but for this particular team, they are always at the that same position. You go there, and we, because there are certain things that always we may refer people to also go there to us, especially get those things. The next person is, I think that Nana Adumako. Do you have another question? Then Mas, please get ready after Nana Adumako. Then you ask your question, please.
Thank you, sir. Please. Someone came here with SOS, and he want to travel outside. COS, and the person want to travel to outside UK. The person is still not on the indefinite. He's still in the SOS visa. Is there any specific days you can spend outside UK, or you can spend any days outside?
Can I ask you a question quickly? When you are working, the COS is a working visa, right?
Sorry, the dependent.
It doesn't matter. Okay, the COS is a working visa, and it also has conditions attached to it. as a dependent, you don't actually have to work anyway. So far as your partner, the main applicant, is working, there are no restrictions. Some dependents, especially the women, they are not working, they've had children, they don't have to work. However, with every visa, it is assumed that it was given to you to come and live here. So you have to, if you go away, it has, and it has to be reasonable time, because when it's time to grant, it can go against you when it's time to grant. So, okay, I have a dependent here who's working here, yeah? I get a dependent visa, go back to Ghana for 2 years. By the time okay, let's say the visa was granted for 5. So I go and live in Ghana for 4 years. When it's time to grant, I come here and quickly attach myself to the application. Do you think it will be granted?
No.
So if you are ordinarily living here, you live here, whether you're working or not, it's not relevant because you're a dependent. You live here. You live here because of this person. So you are here because that person wants you near to them, right?
Okay.
And then you go to Ghana for 3-4 months at a time. You're not really living here, are you?
3-4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not really living here, are you? So look at what is reasonable.
So, what he's saying in Ashe is that something to do with if you wanted to come as a visit to visit your partner, then you can stay there and make application to come and see them on the visit basis. But if you have made application as a dependent to come and live with them, then you must do so. If you wanted to go, don't spend more than 3 months, because if you spend more than 3 months, it will have an effect on your application. It's just like even those who are even British. If you are British and you go and you spend even more than 2 years, you may come in, but your British nationality status might not be given to you. So we have to see that there is always a line, conditions attached to everything that has been given to anyone. Okay, the next person is Mas, please.
Can I add something? It's really about, for example, indefinite leave to remain. If you stay outside the UK for over 2 months, you have to actually apply for a visa to come in and then apply for indefinite leave to remain to be reinstated. So if you have ILR, you can't stay out for 2 years. You can't. It's automatically cancelled. You won't be allowed to come back. So when you check in, the 2 hours check-in before you board, you won't be allowed to board to come back. You have to apply for a visa. Indefinite leave to remain, not British, indefinite leave to remain. 2 months, 2 years. So please, whatever visa or leave to remain you have, limited leave to remain you have, look at the conditions attached to that. I don't know about all the conditions because I don't need to know as part of my job. But if you go on gov.uk, you can search or sometimes in your e-visa, years ago, when you are issued something, it will come with a letter where it will clearly state your conditions. Some visas actually used to have the conditions printed on the visa to tell you no recourse to public funds. Visit visa, for example, used to say that. So it would tell you what conditions you're under. And if there are conditions as to how many days you can spend outside the UK, it will tell you as well. Just read about it on gov.uk. Just take your Google, open your phone and just ask the question in general, how many days can I spend outside the UK if I'm holding COS visa, and search. Scroll down and go to the gov.uk one, and read it. It will tell you. AI will already summarize it for you anyway. And then scroll down and look for the information on gov.uk and it will tell you. Make your life easy. Educate yourself. Just Google stuff. Don't go on TikTok and social media. Google it and go on gov.uk. Just Google any phrase you can remember and then start reading. Please, especially the students, I'm begging you, put as much research into your status, just like what you put in your schoolwork. Because without the status, the schoolwork cannot happen. and I can't say this enough. If you're on here and you can read and you can write English very, very well, and you're in a church, if you can't get to Elder Amos and people like that, if you have this knowledge and somebody comes to you, please help them Google it, explain it to them, break it down for them. We need to help each other. I go to communities. My team has other community leads, the Indian lead, Pakistani lead, Egyptian. I work with all of them. And sometimes in these communities, you see the young children helping the elderly understand certain things. And it's actually beautiful to watch. I have never, ever encountered that in the African community. Any African community, I haven't. We need to do better at helping people who are not computer literate or IT literate. We need to do this through the churches. We need to do this through the mosques, community centers, whatever, any group that you belong to. Use that to help people if you understand English and you can help people, especially what I just mentioned about the NTL. NTL, those who will have that old legacy document will probably not be under 60 years. Probably. So they may not have had the language skills to apply to be able to be granted a British nationality. And this is why they still have their own passport or for other reasons. Please seek them out, help them to apply for NTL so that they can have their e-visa accounts. We need to help each other do these things because the world is moving on and they are from a different generation and they need this help. Please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that the next person, Mas, before you come, let me read this question. A friend's son has been in prison before and he has a criminal record. They aim to travel to Ghana for a while. Would he be allowed back in Britain since he was born here and has not traveled before?
Not everybody born in the UK is British. So the fact that he was born here doesn't give me anything to go on. I can't answer that question.
Yeah. I think that on that question,
British. If he's
yes.
British, white British people who have been to prison go on holiday all the time.
Yeah.
Why would this person be judged on the fact that they've been to prison? Okay, I'm assuming there's probably a reason why this person is asking this question. Maybe they don't have indefinite leave to remain. I don't know. But if they have permission to stay here permanently, then they can go on holiday and come back. Why not? If they were not allowed to live here, this boy would not be allowed to leave prison. They would be sent straight to Ghana, straight from prison.
So I will advise you that you can meet the team next week because we need to ask more questions.
We don't know the status of this person.
Yes, come with more details so that when you come, you will sit down and take time to go through with you, and we will be able to unravel exactly what it is. So you come and meet us at Slough, and we will be able to help you. Mas.
Yeah, Roxanne, the complaints procedure has been posted for you. Thank you. Again, this question, if you had put it in Google, can you do it now? Put in Google and it will come up. Please do it now whilst we're here and put a note to say it came up. Please, this is a question that's a Google question. It will come up straight away. Yes, there is a procedure. Thank you.
Mas. Is Mas muted?
Yes, hello?
Okay, now you can ask the question, please.
No, I'm just listening. Carry on. I'm just listening.
Okay, because your hand is up over there. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. Then if he doesn't have a question, then please put. Okay, that's good.
He's British, Mr. Amos. Yeah, British. Well, just look around you. Normal British people who have been to prison travel all the time. They don't get into any trouble. So why do you feel this person is going to get into trouble?
Yeah, I think that the problem is that that is why I said that we don't have much details. it could be that those,
condition
there's a
of their
condition attached to it,
release
and there
doesn't
is
allow them
yes,
to travel.
and he might not have all the details, or sometimes too, the fear is that because he's on the probation, they think that if he goes and he's coming in, they might not
Will be
allow.
arrested.
These are some of the things that we needed to know more details about it, and then we'll be able to advise and help you on that.
Please, if there are no conditions attached to the release, and they are allowed to travel outside, then that's fine. However, if they are on conditions or early release scheme, which will have certain conditions attached, they may not be allowed to travel, or they may have to apply and seek permission to travel. That has nothing to do with immigration. This is not an immigration issue. It has nothing to do with immigration. It's a purely Ministry of Justice issue. This is not an immigration issue. So the Ministry of Justice may have placed conditions on this person. So if they come in, they will be allowed to come in because obviously they are British. However, they may be arrested at the airport. That's the only thing that will happen to not being able to come in. That I wouldn't understand that unless there's other information. Please go and see Mr. Amos, but this is not an immigration issue. The immigration wouldn't normally stop a British person from coming in unless their status, their immigration status has been formally revoked because of something they did, and that would normally be something like treason. Shamima Begum, anybody remember Shamima Begum, that young girl who went to Syria to fight with ISIS? Her case is a very good example of a British person whose British passport had been revoked, but that was revoked before she tried to travel, so that's different.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any British person who travel will not be allowed to come in. There is no other condition. You see, I started this by saying, if you say you heard and it's on TikTok, I'm not going to answer the question. So where did they hear it from? Can they read? Can they go online and read about it? Can this boy speak to their probation officer about it? Are there any condition attached to his release? Is he on the early release scheme? This is a probation case. So it's a Ministry of Justice case. It's not an immigration case unless he committed treason and his British nationality has been revoked and they are looking to remove him or deport him. That's a different situation.
Yeah. Is there any question?
Amos, can I ask this question, please?
Okay.
Auntie Mercy, thank you. On your first presentation,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the entry. Mm-hmm. If someone
Illegal entry, you mean?
No, the person entered rightfully.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And
with visa, you mean?
Yeah, with visa.
Mm-hmm.
Overstayed, but currently the person has indefinite to leave to remain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the person is qualified for British citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
And now the person does not have any, the passport is missing, so the person doesn't have the passport to show that she entered lawfully. Is there a way that they can use to track if the person really entered? Because the person entered early 2000s. Yeah, early in 2000.
Of course, yeah. Early 2000 is not a long time at all in immigration sense. Absolutely not. It's not a long time at all in immigration sense. Of course, we have documentary evidence to confirm that he entered that time. It's not an issue
He
at all.
doesn't remember the date of entry. Is that okay?
No. We will have it.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
2000 is not a long time at all.
Okay.
And of course, on his records, there will be the entry date. We always start everything from the entry date. So years ago, when people were granted, sometimes even the grant papers will have your entry date on it. So yeah, we will have information to do with it. Yeah. Don't worry about that. That is not an issue.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you, our sister, for being here for us with all the questions and then all the presentation. I hope that we are all happy and excited. Those of us on the line, please show by saying cheers, just to thank our sister for what she has done for us. We are looking forward to also meet the whole congregation and also everybody who was on the line who has an issue, wanted to come and meet us as Slough next week on the 6th of June. We will be there. So please come with all your documents so that we can address your situation. When you come, there is what we call a number that they will be given. Ask them you wanted appointment. If you ask them that you want to book appointment, they will be able to help you and then give you a number for the appointment. But if you didn't ask, you might not be able to get it. By the time that it is up to you, it might be too late. So the moment you go there, ask them, I would like to book for appointment so that we will meet the team. They will be able to help you from the afternoon. That will start from the 2 o'clock consultation. But you need to come early. If you are waiting for 2 o'clock, at that time, it is already choked. So you need to come early so that we'll be able to know the number of people who are coming for consultation. By 10 o'clock, I think that the church will be open. So we will also be there around that time. Thank you so much, our sister, for your support. And at this venture,
before quickly, can I add something very quickly?
Okay.
I would also like to thank Kofi and other people who have answered questions on the sidebar for me. Of course, we are online. I'm under restrictions, and there are so many things I couldn't do. So thanks, Kofi, for doing that for me. And also, what I do, we always need feedback. As I said earlier, I am not a qualified immigration advisor. I give you the information, I equip you with the tools so that you can help yourself. And this is all I do to keep you informed so that you can make informed decisions. I have put on the sidebar a survey so that the Home Office will know if what we are doing is useful or not. If you found it useful, please click. And Mr. Amos will tell you, we used to do 3-4 times a month. And yet now, I think this year, this is the first one because there are so many restrictions. If you want us to continue this work, and usually, by the way, I would do face-to-face. And this is why this is a bit weird for me. Usually, I would do face-to-face and speak to people. However, I can't because there are certain restrictions and restructuring going on at the moment because what we do is important for the community. But anyway, so what I will say is I have to be careful. I have put a link on the sidebar. Could you please complete the survey so that when I go back to management, I can say, look at how many people who said they have benefited from this presentation. So if you feel that this session was very helpful to you, like Kwesi did, please click on that survey on the sidebar. And Reverend, please, if you have what do you call it, a WhatsApp group chat, can you put it on the WhatsApp group chat so that people can complete that? My full name, I'll put my full name on the sidebar. And there's a very important question there about if I spoke about voluntary returns. I did mention voluntary returns. I did mention that if you're a student or whatever and you fall on hard times, you can return with dignity. And when you are back in Ghana, for example, there is a reintegration team that can help you resettle back. So that's my full name there, which you will need to complete that survey. And thank you, everybody. If I was unable to answer your question, do not worry. Please go and see Elda. It will be sorted. On the other hand, if you want to come and see me at the surgery, I'll be there. If I'm not there, those who are there will be able to help you. Do not worry. Please get help, get advice, and please stay legal. Whatever you do not get yourself into trouble. Thank you. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It means that any issue that has not dealt with over here, you come over and we will continue from there. to help you. My sister, God bless you.
Thank you.
Then on behalf of Slough Church, and then on behalf of the family on the line, and then our Dr. Addaih and his team, we say Ayuko.
Thank you.
God bless you for.
We see you
for
face to face soon.
yes.
Something's come up today, but we will talk. We will talk.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll
Thank you
talk.
so
Some
much.
good news in the horizon.
Okay, thank you so much. And then, as you were saying, the survey, please do not shy away from it, because it is that is changing the narratives. Without it, we will not be able to get here. We have tried so many years. It's almost about 15 years now before we were able to get to this level. And I'm so happy that Elder Kofi is also on the line, and then he was working, and he has been very,
was he
very
the one
instrumental.
responding?
Yeah.
I only saw Coffee. Then I didn't know it was him. Hi, Elder. Thank you for helping out. Thank you, as usual.
I know he's the one. He's hiding behind.
Yeah.
I
was wondering who that was. Yeah. Quick on his hands. Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole idea is that do that one, it will help for the future and for all the benefit of all of us, because the face-to-face was so much to do, and you will love it. And then sometimes I keep on saying that when we start the program, that you are expecting that when the person has resolved their problem, they will go home, but they will not go. They will go and sit down there waiting till we finish everything. And that is the power of our sister, what she has been doing. So we thank God, and we thank you for coming. At this venture, I will ask if Elder Moses is ready. Could you please pray for us? You pray for our sister, and also remember the team for next week, what we are coming to do, and the work that our sister is doing, so that we will be able to help the community in the best way that God wants us to.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. I know you have thanked everyone, but on behalf of Slough Ghana, we want to thank Sister Mercy for his effort. I'm nearly done for my survey, so thank you very much for that tremendous work. Let's pray. Our everlasting Father, our most gracious Father, our Lord and Savior, we thank you, we praise your name, we magnify you, we exalt your name. Lord, it's by your grace and it's by your mercy you have brought all of us in these gadgets. We have learned so much. We are pilgrims in this land, but by your mighty hand, you have helped us till this day. We commit ourselves into you, Lord. Please help us and protect each and everyone on this line, even our family members, from all the harms and troubles in this country. Let us stay safe. In a special way, I commit Sister Mercy and her family into your care. Whilst he's doing this job, Lord, he's proclaiming your word. So, Father, whilst he's helping the needy, may you bless her home. May you continue to protect and provide and help all his needs, all her needs. I commit her family into your care. Children, husband, each and every one. Father, may their heart desire be acceptable, and may you grant their heart desire in your name. I commit the team, legal team, into your hands as well, whilst they're doing such a charitable work. Father, may you help them, bless them, and keep them safe for us. Continue to be with us. It's time for us to go to bed. Those who are going to work, Lord, protect and guide each and every one. Whilst we, the 7 days, we have ushered your Sabbath, may your blessings continue to dwell in our homes and help us. In the morning, we will bless your name and worship you wherever we found ourselves. May your blessings go with us tonight and sleep with us with your angels. And in the morning, we will give you praise. We thank you for answering prayer. For us in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Ada. God bless you. And then I will say, God bless you all for coming. And then God bless you for you are also patient and the questions. Continue the survey, and God will also have mercy upon you. And then it's good that Sister Mercy is the one who presented, and then God is also have mercy upon you. God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully, I'll see you soon, face to face. Hopefully.
Yes.
Thank you,
Take
Elder
care.
Kofi, and thank you, Elder Amos, and everybody. Thank you. Thank you for
And
having me.
and I thank the team for coming. In fact, the team has been a tremendous effort coming, and then they are supporting the background and helping. God bless you. And I'm looking forward for on the seas. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody who has completed the survey. Thank you. And also, Mr. Roxon has, Roxon's iPhone has put a lot of information on the sidebar as well. Thank you also for your contribution and everybody who asked questions. And thank you. I will log off now. Thank you, Elder. I will speak to you tomorrow, Monday. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.
And you too. Bye.
To me in sharing bread and wine, he gives me life that will reach past the